What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, definitely gonna want to see this one, as we got Fox News The 5 host Jessica Tarlov back at it again, guys. We're seeing that Trump derangement syndrome of hers is at an all-time high after what we just seen last night, guys. She's working her way out the door of Fox News The 5 in this newest segment. I'm excited to get into it, guys. So we're not straight into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. Without further ado, let's get into it, you guys. Check this out.
He's a single, I've said this before, he's a single greatest political athlete I've ever seen. And tonight he proved why. There were moments in the campaign where I thought he said some things and did some things that I didn't quite understand, that I thought maybe detracted from that. But tonight, obviously, proves that too. He also ran a traditional campaign. He connected with voters on issues. He talked about the things that mattered most to voters, and Democrats said he didn't talk about it in the most full-throated way, he didn't talk about it in the most wholesome way, didn't talk about it in the most comprehensive way, but he connected with voters. I would urge my party tonight, if indeed I think he's almost at 270, we'll declare it here shortly once Alaska comes in, don't write off the American people. Let us not be critical of people for voting for President Trump. He did something we didn't do in this campaign. We had to reevaluate, reassess. Mr. Wonderful said it a little earlier, that may give us an opportunity as a party to revamp, and perhaps we should think about that. But don't.
Come on, you guys. Even Fox News The 5 host, who is known to have that Trump derangement syndrome, Harold Ford Jr., is able to come out and say after the race, like, hey, our party needs to sit back, reflect on what we did wrong, because we did not relate with the country on issues, and that's exactly why we got beat so bad. I mean, come on, even they know.
That may give us an opportunity as a party to revamp, and perhaps we should think about that. But don't write off the people, the American people, for the decision they made this evening.
Charlie Hurt, he will be the 47th president of the United States after everything that we saw in this election.
That there's still hope. Obviously, I didn't love to see the go take a nap and we'll get back to you in the morning about all of this. But we do have to keep in mind that the race in 2020 wasn't called for days, that Biden won Pennsylvania on Friday of that week and Wisconsin on Thursday, I think that it was. So we'll see. They think it's close, that there's vote coming.
Jessica Tarlov was living in that delusional state, that false reality, all the way up until the buzzer, guys. Listen to her, still pushing narrative, saying, hey, the race is still tight. You know, we never know. It could be called later on. Guys, it's over. It's all over. Jessica Tarlov, up until the buzzer, was saying that Harris could possibly win. I mean, come on.
In the morning about all of this, but we do have to keep in mind that the race in 2020 wasn't called for days, that Biden won Pennsylvania on Friday of that week and Wisconsin on Thursday, I think that it was. So we'll see. They think it's close, that there's vote coming in. There was, some conversation over how much of a remaining vote in Philadelphia existed, and there was an extra 120,000-ish votes that were out there that could go into Harris's column. Two things, though, that I've been thinking about. One, and Dana knows this well, how much I love to throw out a good door knocking stat, right?
Oh,
so
my goodness.
2,000 door knocks a minute for the Harris campaign. Does any of that stuff matter anymore? And we'll see how this pans out. She could win.
Not when you're knocking on my door with no policy changes. You're not forthcoming. We don't know what you truly stand for. You can knock on the doors all you want, but you're not giving the people any substance. And that's why they got beat so bad. I mean, come on, guys. These stats, they want to interrupt me. These stats, these surveys that Jessica Tarlov has been throwing out this entire time have proven themselves to be completely far out from what the reality, what the truth of the matter is. We've been saying that for the whole time. I mean, come on, y'all.
For the Harris campaign, does any of that stuff matter anymore? And we'll see how this pans out. She could win with the simple route through. She already, getting Nebraska second, but the Harris campaign ran a conventional campaign, right, where raising money, souls to the polls, that kind of stuff matters. Will that be the path going forward? The second thing is, if this night doesn't end up going in Harris's direction, and barring some big change, she will have underperformed Biden in 2020 in every single demographic except college-educated women. And even with college-educated women, it wasn't the overwhelming win that we thought it was going to be, or that was projected in some of these very prominent surveys. And when you think about the fact that there were some people, I didn't think we were going to win Iowa, but that we had seen surveys where he was only up 5 in Kansas or up 3 in Ohio. It's going to take a lot of refocusing to understand really what happened here. And it doesn't seem like it was one decision.
Honestly, I don't think it'll take too much refocus. And all you guys have to do is look back all the names you called the American folks who supported Donald Trump, you know, calling us garbage, calling us trash, calling us Nazis, fascists, all that stuff is probably why you guys didn't win the election. I mean, come on, guys.
That the Harris campaign did. I'm sure if she loses Pennsylvania, there'll be a lot of Josh Shapiro discussion. This feels much bigger than any decision about having him on the ticket or going to the Al Smith dinner.
So, Carl.
Well, I think that Democrats are, well, dispirited at this moment. And I think that the likelihood, as we've pointed out, is that Trump will be the president. And I think that for me, talking to people like Darren and political professionals around, no one anticipated the size of this mandate, as you call it. I think that there is even recriminations now among Democrats as to Biden and whether Biden should have dropped out earlier or Biden should have stayed. Would a white male have done better? Obviously, Trump has defeated 2 women and now a black.
Oh my goodness, guys. Now it's more of the copium coming out saying that the reason why Kamala Harris lost and she, you know, had such high disapproval rating is because she was a black woman. Maybe a white man could have done a little bit better. I mean, come on, give it up. If she came with some substance, some politics, I mean, her whole party turned against her. And that's why they're saying we need to have a talk about our party, because everyone turned against her because she didn't have anything, no substance. Nothing, none of her positions were backed up. She never was forthcoming with what she truly wanted to do for the American folks. And that's why everyone was ditching and abandoning her. This isn't about race or gender. Come on now. Don't do that.
Would a white male have done better? Obviously, Trump has defeated 2 women and now a black woman. So there's all of these questions. But to my mind, it seems to me incredible that a guy who led a insurrection against the United States government is essentially now, you know, like a phoenix going back.
The insurrection narrative is exactly why Donald Trump is in the position he is in right now, because no one's seen it as what they're trying to say it is. And that's why Donald Trump, all the, you know, the shams, the charade cases, the way they came after this guy is exactly why he's in the position he is right now.
Against the United States government is essentially now, you know, like a phoenix going back into the Oval Office. It's unbelievable.
Well, you have to consider the fact, Juan, that a lot of people didn't think that was an insurrection. They thought it was a riot, but not an insurrection. And had they thought it was really an insurrection, I don't think he could have won.
Well, I don't know.
The exaggerations about that day.
Well, I'm not exaggerating.
About the alleged threat to democracy is a piece of what happened tonight.
Well, I don't think so. I think,
huge piece.
Again, I'm giving you my perspective.
And I'm giving you mine.
Right. So I listened to you as my friend. But I'm going to tell you what I saw was not only a riot in terms of the violence, but a direct action intended to stop certification of a presidential election.
Understood. And we've talked a lot.
So when I interviewed Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago the day after the second assassination attempt, we were talking about the previous election, and I pointed out that 2020 was decided by a handful of swing voters in a handful of swing states, and that this election probably would be as well. And he said to me, maybe, or maybe a lot. I have a feeling it might be a lot. Looks like he might have been right.
Yeah.
If it turns out the way this seems to be coming, this is the greatest political comeback since 1892 when Grover Cleveland lost the White House and won it back. So what that means is...
Wow, folks. History, guys. We just witnessed history. This is going in the textbook. Donald Trump, a landslide fashion. I mean, come on, you guys.
Comeback since 1892 when Grover Cleveland lost the White House and won it back. So what that means is, love him or hate him, Donald Trump isn't just a once-in-a-generation talent. He's a once-in-a-century talent politically. And keep in mind, this is the matchup the Democrats wanted. They thought Trump would be easier to beat. Part of the reason why they launched this campaign of lawfare against him was to rally Republicans around him so that he would be the nominee. And that may have been a grave, grave political miscalculation.
Yeah.
As we look now at what we have, Pennsylvania, is this a call, ladies and gentlemen? We are now projecting that Donald J. Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania. Former President Donald J. Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania and thereby he is on his way to becoming the 47th president of the United States.
Right there, guys. We did it. I just want to give a huge hats off to those folks who got out there, took their butts to those polls, voted in Pennsylvania, guys, because we made a difference,
Donald
guys.
J. Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania, and thereby he is on his way to becoming the 47th president of the United States. With this, the path for Vice President Harris has narrowed, and there's really no path going forward. It's vanished. This is historic. Everything was about Pennsylvania. Everything from the beginning was about Pennsylvania. Now, former President Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania, and we can make that call, the 19 electoral votes. That puts him at 267, not officially over the 270, but the path that it takes to get to 270, he is well on his way to becoming the 47th president of the United States in what is going to be the biggest political phoenix from the ashes story that we have ever seen, ever. I mean, I'm going to say it's more than Grover Cleveland in
1892.
Yeah, I don't think
Wow.
that Grover Cleveland was not the subject of a Russia investigation, 2 impeachments, 2 assassination attempts.
Indictments.
They have indictments, 91 indictments, convictions, and there is almost nothing that hasn't been thrown at this former president and his.
Not to even mention the attempts on his life. I mean, come on, you guys. This dude overcame a mountain, Mount Everest, twice, 3 times. I mean, come on. And still is able to overcome it and come out on top. I mean, come on, man. This story right here, a true underdog story. Kamala Harris then wanted to preach and say, hey, we're the underdog in this fight. No, Donald Trump was the underdog that everybody was rooting for from the beginning. Once we seen the way they were coming after him with those charades, political witch hunts, all across the nation, folks are able to relate with this guy. Like, why are you bothering him? It's because he wants to protect the American people, and everyone voted him in. I mean, come on, you guys. This is history right here.
There's almost nothing that hasn't been thrown at this former president, and his tenacity in wanting to go back and run again, which he announced immediately after he lost in 2020. This is a huge historic moment in the United States of America as the former President Trump is closing in with just a few electoral votes away now from clinching 270 as Pennsylvania is called for Donald Trump.
We're looking live, 1:21 a.m. in the morning at Trump headquarters. The cheers coming up. We're told the former president is there, as well as J.D. Vance, Senator J.D. Vance.
Oh my goodness, guys! Imagine being here. I know this place was absolutely electric. I mean, come on, you guys.
They are getting ready to hear from former President Donald Trump again at 267. Not there yet, but looking at where that vote is in Wisconsin, where the vote is in Michigan, where the vote is in Nevada and in Arizona.
Yo, there we have it, guys. We're seeing those folks on the left absolutely losing it. Their bubble has finally been burst. You know, that false reality bubble that all those folks on the left, that Trump derangement syndrome, you got Jessica Tarlov, Harold Ford Jr., even being forced to admit the truth. Like, hey, our candidate just simply did not hit the mark, did not hit the target as far as the American people go. You know, she went right over the target. She thought she could glaze, gaslight and lie her way into that Oval Office. It just did not work. Donald Trump, you know, drew in true traditional support, relating with the people on struggles that we're having, able to address issues and true points and positions. Whereas on the other side, there was just not that, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Wonderful news coming. Donald Trump coming to clean and scoop all that rot out, get us back on track as a nation, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We got